ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਮੈਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਾ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੌਰ ਸੰਧੂ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਇਨਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ। ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ, ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਖਾਸ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤੇ ਹਨ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀਜ਼ ਵੀ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਇੰਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਹਨ। ਸੋ ਇਸੇ ਸਿਲਸਿਲੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸ਼ਖਸ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਹਨ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਚੈਤਲ ਜੀ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਐਗਜ਼ੀਕਿਊਟਿਵ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਪ੍ਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ। ਅਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਮਰ ਵੀ ਹੈ। ਅਮਰ ਸਾਈਕੋਥੈਰੇਪਿਸਟ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋ ਹੋਸਟ ਵੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਚੈਤਲ ਜੀ ਦੀ। ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਥੈਟਫੋਰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੇ ਹਨ। ਉਹ HMP ਨਾਰਥ ਸੀ ਕੈਂਪ ਬੋਸਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੇਅਰਪਰਸਨ ਵੀ ਹਨ, ਅਤੇ ਪੀਟਰਬਰਗ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਹੈ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਐਕਸ ਅਫੈਂਡਰਸ ਨੂੰ, ਹੋਮਲੈਸ ਪੀਪਲ ਨੂੰ ਸੈਟਲ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਕਲਚਰ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਾ ਰੱਖਣ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਰਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਹੋਟਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰੀਸੈਂਟਲੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਦਲੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਮਿਊਜ਼ੀਅਮ ਵੀ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਹੈ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਸਤਿੰਦਰ ਸਰਤਾਜ ਹੁਣੀ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵੀ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਸੋ ਉੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਥੈਟਫੋਰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਮੇਲਾ ਵੀ ਲਗਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ, ਅਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਰੰਗਾਰੰਗ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵੀ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਲਚਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਨੂੰ, ਅਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਦਲੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੁੱਤ ਵੀ ਹਨ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਲੱਗੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਨ। ਸੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤਮੰਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਾਈਫ ਹਨ ਰੋਜ਼ੀ ਚੇਤਲ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਲਈ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ, ਅਤੇ ਕਰੀ ਨਾਈਟ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਔਰਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੋਕ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਨ। ਸੋ ਥੈਟਫੋਰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਦਲੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਾ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਜਾਣਾਂਗੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਰਨੀ ਬਾਰੇ, ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਰਨੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ, ਅਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਲਈ ਕੀਤੇ। ਸੋ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅਤੇ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਅਮਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਹੂੰਗੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰੇ।
Hello, sat sri akal. Hello, Chez. Sat sri akal ji. How are you, Chez? You okay?
I'm good, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Really nice to meet you today. So you're very inspiring, I must say. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What motivated you to actually start off in the hospitality business?
So basically the situation was I was 16 and no qualifications whatsoever from school. What do I do? So somebody recommended at that time, careers teachers I'm sure it was, on a YTS, youth training scheme. And for some people they thought, what's this thing he's going on? Best thing I ever did. I worked for a wonderful company, had a great upbringing in Trust House Forte in hospitality, and it led me to further business and further what I do, and to learn the whole culture of looking after people and respecting people, and to learn about food and wine. So I became an expert in food, and I'm also now a qualified sommelier as well, as a master of wine.
Wow, that is amazing. So how do you think your early experiences from all of that shaped your career to where you are today?
So where I am now, I had people help me. So because I didn't have any qualifications, typical Punjabi guy who with no qualifications is not going to make it as a pilot or a doctor or a lawyer like we like to do. It was a challenge on its own. But I proved everyone wrong, and I started, because I was in hospitality, the respect and gaining respect, you can't buy respect, you have to gain it. So I very much enjoyed my time with Trust House Forte, who taught me about life, people, and how to speak to people, how to be in society, and how to travel the world, because I traveled the world with them for 22 years. and worked all over the place. And I really became into my food. So I became a qualified Michelin star chef at one stage. And then I became a qualified sommelier. So I got all my qualifications. And suddenly this Punjabi guy who left school with nothing has now got suddenly a little bit of life and some qualifications behind him. So, hey, up we went.
Wow, that's amazing. So what's your highlights in those 22 years at the Trust House Forte?
Trust House Forte was a great company, and they gave me the confidence to be with people, to engage with people, and to understand business, to understand the world and what everything was about. Which is why what it led on to me now, because people say to me, you get ex-offenders and homeless and you help them get into work, but you don't get paid for it. I said, but the thing is, I'm helping somebody to get further in life, and I had that upbringing where I had someone had confidence in me, and that one particular company was fantastic. So the people I now get into work who can't find work, companies are a bit reluctant because they're ex-offenders, they don't got nowhere to live. So I give them a bit of life, and I bridge the gap between them and the employers. And people straight away, what do? They Google somebody, they Google my name, and they Google 8 years of volunteering for getting people into work. So I find that more of an achievement, to be honest, than my businesses. My businesses do well because, I encourage everyone to work in life, to have work ethics. I was brought up with work ethics, and if I can pass that on to anybody to bring the younger generation into fruition, then I'm a winner.
ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਜੈਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਾਈਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਇੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਚੀਵ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਲਿਖੇ ਡਿਗਰੀਆਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੌਬਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਵੀ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਘੁੰਮਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਜੇ ਕਿਤਾ। ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਗਿਵ ਅਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ, ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਸਾਈਡ 'ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਅਚੀਵ ਕੀਤਾ। ਪਰ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਹਾਰਡ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਖਿੱਚਦੇ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ। ਹੈਲਪ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਉਹਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਯੰਗ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਸੋ what were some of the challenges you faced working both nationally and internationally?
Internationally was good for me, as in my mental mind and how I got on with people, because everything that I did around the world and even nationally and locally, I could pass that on to people. I think life, and you do come across a lot of people in life, they won't share their experiences and share the drive with somebody, and some people are actually selfish to actually pass their connections on. I met a lot of people like that who didn't want me to get any further because I don't feel like that. I would rather pass my experience, pass my wisdom, and I'm also I forgot to say, I also do mentoring as well in the prisons and in hospitality, so that I can share my experiences and get other people to follow in my footsteps. I always say, because I speak to colleges, I speak to schools, I speak to different prisons, I speak to different local councils, because not all councillors I've met, are very clever, really, to be honest, and they haven't really been into reality. But what I've done, I've come from a tiny little place in Coventry and just gone further and further and further. So the positive I've had in my life and in my with dignitaries that I've dealt with made me go just positive. Negative goes out of the window. I don't do negativity, and if anyone does negativity, I tell that to my staff as well. The only person I don't say that to is my wife, because she'll tell me off. But better not speak about that one, shall I? The thing is, life is about being, sharing is caring. So if you follow that in life, I think you'll always get further. And I really, really do believe in that. And I've given away, I think there's about 150,000 to local charities around here, which we do lots and lots of different fundraising. And I've had major, really fantastic Punjabi people, Punjabi entertainers here as well. Got some good DJs. We had Beer Singh here a couple of years ago. You know, we get all the names here because of the connection with the Maharaja Dalip Singh. And to just pass the Maharaja Dalip Singh thing on to the younger generation is fantastic, because a lot of the younger generation don't even know who he is, you know. But not only do we have the younger generation, we have the locals here and the Americans and the English who now know about Maharaja Dalip Singh, but also the positivity that you can pass on to people rather than being negative. So, you know, don't ever forget where you came from. And I'm very, very happy that I came from a very humble family in Coventry, and I can sit here with my head held high that I've helped lots and lots of people, rather than take from people. You know, as much as I've been given, I've given it, most of it away. I suppose I could have a few more million in the bank, I reckon, if I hadn't given it all away. But do you know what? It makes me feel better, and I'm so happy that, you know, people recognize what I do and everything. And yeah, equally, you know, if I didn't do all that, I wouldn't have met you guys today, would I?
Yeah, so true, so true. Can you just tell us
so
a little
true.
bit more about the beautiful venture that you're on now, your hotel and everything?
So my hotel here, I bought this 11 years ago. It's derelict. There was hardly anything going on here. People said to me, "What are you doing in Thetford? You know, you used to be with the Waldorf in London. You used to be, you know, with the Westbury and the Ritz and all these places I've worked at. What are you doing in Thetford?" And I said, "You know what? I didn't own the Ritz and I didn't own the places, but I do own this hotel." And it was just a pure coincidence that I bought a place which is a birthplace of an author, Thomas Paine, who wrote The Rights of Man, the Common Sense. And it just happens to be up the road from 23,000 Americans who live up the road. And they all want to support what I do, but nobody else would do it. Nobody else would take the risk of, you know, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? It was going to work as a hotelier because I am a hotelier. And whatever I take on in hotels, it does work because I know what I'm doing. But to have the added benefit of Thomas Paine and then Maharaja Dalip Singh down the road, oh, it's just incredible. And what have we done? We've started this fantastic thing that myself and a local ex-mayor, we you know, of a historic walk. And I've played Prince Frederick in that walk as well, you know, and it's brilliant when you see people, all our brothers and sisters from the Sikh society were down the road here, watching me walking down the road with a bandook in my hand, you know, and thinking, well, who's this guy? Well, it's Prince Frederick, you know, and there's someone else playing something else. So it's really brought the whole footfall into the area as well, which we were recognized by the Heritage Lottery as well, who gave us some money towards it because of the amount of effort and things I've put into it, the finance I've put into it. But, you know, nothing comes on a plate, and it's been 11 years of hard work. But now, yeah, it's quite fantastic. I've got 2-3 MPs that support me. If you look at the website on Prism Star, you've got, you know, Tony Hadley from Spandau Ballet. He's done a video on there, supports us. We've got all these different people who support us. And then to have Tajinder Sartaj come here as well when he was visiting the graves was just another bonus. So the Miller came along, these great guys I've met. I'm sure somebody would know a guy called Gurinder Singh Mann. He's from Leicester. He helped me over here a lot. The guys from Gurdwara Gravesend, they're the ones who put this show on every year. And to meet them all, who are so much into all of the Maharaja thing and all the Sikh and all the Sikh, you know, the positiveness that goes on in the world. It's just a pleasure to be here, really. And I don't even live here. I live an hour and a half away, but I spend a lot of time here because this is one of my hotels. So, you know, I think I just put a post on somewhere. I think you're all part of that community, Punjabi community on Facebook. And I didn't realize that, you know, there were so many people interested. And I was like, I was blown away by the response, really. And obviously you must have seen that there as well, which is why we're here today.
Yes. So Jess, ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਮਤਲਬ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ। ਕਿੰਨੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ? ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਕਿ ਇੰਨਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਰਿਚ ਕਲਚਰ ਹੈਗਾ, ਇੰਨਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੋ, ਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ? ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਲੋਕ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਦੇਖਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਜਾਂ ਲਾਈਕ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਾ ਰੱਖਣ ਲਈ ਬੜਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੇ।
ਨਹੀਂ, ਇੱਥੇ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਾਫੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ, ਲੋਕਲੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਇੱਥੇ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਥਰੂ as I said, Gurinder Singh Man, but it's also another guy who's very much involved around here, and his book and so supportive is a guy called Peter Bantz. I don't know if you've heard of Peter.
Yeah.
So Peter's very much involved around here, and his book sells well, and he supports everything around here. But also the Lord Iver, who is the owner of Elvedon Hall, where Maharaja Dalip Singh lived. He's part of the Guinness family, so they own the whole estate. And now and again you go, and we went in there. Not anybody can get in there. They do a lot of Bollywood filming there, so you have to get permission to get into the grounds. And it's like it's like the size of a Buckingham Palace where the Maharaja used to live. So people do come there. I think the most thing that we need help with, and if anyone can help us, is to actually get the word more out there that Maharaja Dalip Singh here and all his history is very much alive. And they need to keep it alive. But I think we need more maybe, and I don't know what they do in the schools nowadays or anything, but the younger generation, we really do need to get the younger generation involved in it. And if I can help in any way, I do my best to do that. But through the different gurdwaras and everything else, there is a lot of support, which is how the Mela came along. The Mela only came along about 7 years ago, when a guy called Indi Sandhu from Gravesend came along, and he came along, and I can remember meeting him and this lady called great lady called Seema Anand. They came over here and they said, this is what we're going to do. It was like, oh, this is music to my ears. We're going to start this Punjabi Mela in town. Why? In the middle of Thetford. It's a quite little market town. So when the people do come through here, the locals are very, very supportive of it, but we could do with really getting the word out there. And we do get the Sikh channel. They come down here every year as well, and so you do have the support of the media as well. But if you can on your network here to support that, I think it'd be fantastic. It'd be really, really good for everybody.
ਜਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੈਸੇ ਚਲੋ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਕਸ ਅਫੈਂਡਰਸ ਲਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਏ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੋ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਇਨਵਾਇਰਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੱਛੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਕਰਦੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਯੂਕੇ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਨਵਾਇਰਮੈਂਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬਦਲ ਚੁੱਕਾ ਆ। ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਐਂਗਰੀ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਹਾਊ ਡਿਡ ਯੂ ਗੈਟ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਵਿਦ ਦ ਹੈਲਪਿੰਗ ਐਕਸ ਅਫੈਂਡਰਸ ਐਂਡ ਦ ਹੋਮਲੈਸ ਥਰੂ ਯੂਅਰ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ? ਆਈ ਮੀਨ
ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਮੈਂ 16 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਾਂ, ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ। YTS ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਤਾਂ it was a no-go thing. YTS ਦਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਮਰ ਗਏ, this kind of thing. But I've shown everybody with work ethics you can get a lot further. So I mean I got managers working for me who'd done the BTEC diploma in management and gone to university. I never went to university. These guys work for me, because I've had the experience of life, and I've actually lived that life, and I've gone through the stages and of nearly being in trouble once maybe, and but I got given a chance. So when you get given that second chance in life, take it. And I really much do a lot of publicity around that. I'm down at House of Commons in a couple of weeks talking to people about this, and with our as you mentioned earlier, North Sea Camp chair, I'm the chair there at the prison, and one of the prison's minister now is James Timpson, who I work with, who's Timpson Shoes. So Timpson Shoes employ ex-offenders. So I think to apne bande, they need support from people like me, who's a true Punjabi person, that they have got someone to go to, because they in our industry, in our culture, it's frowned upon, sort of thing. Munda kudi jail jaake aaye, oh my God, you know what I mean? But what I've done, and I've got some great interviews. I did awards for ex-offenders a few months ago, and we sold out, totally sold out. And I've got 2-3 really good interviews. And one guy was inside for 10 years, and kind of guy inside for 10 years. Being inside 10 years and coming out, it's not easy to get into society and to be accepted into society. I worked with him for 3 months. I gave him a job with me. He stayed here with me 6 months. He now earns over 6 figures and he's a surveyor. So it just shows you this guy just needed that help, that bit of mental support and confidence that he can work around money. He's not going to steal from everybody. He's learned his lesson, you know, so give the guy a chance. And I'll send you these videos. I don't know, I'm not very good on computers, but if you've got WhatsApp, I'll send you on WhatsApp, and it's worth using because some of the prisons actually now use those videos that I've done, some podcasts. So for our culture, if there's anyone out there who needs any support, just come to me. My phone's on 24/7. You know, my wife calls my phone my mistress. I spend more time on my phone than I do with her. But I am very much into supporting others, and people who feel embarrassed or anything, don't worry about it. You know, everything's confidential with me, and I am a one-man band. I don't have any support from anybody, but I do it because I do it. And you know, what am I going to do otherwise? Sit and watch Netflix all day?
ਵੈਰੀ ਨਾਈਸ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਹੀਏ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋਟਲ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੋਟਲ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਦਲੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਯਾਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡੈਡੀਕੇਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਸਟੈਚੂਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਬਣਾਏ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਉੱਪਰ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉੱਪਰ ਰੂਮ ਬਣਦੇ ਪਏ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੂਰਾ ਰੂਮ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਡੈਡੀਕੇਟਡ ਟੂ, ਇਟਸ ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਦ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਦਲੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਰੂਮ। And ਉਹਦੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, like the painting behind me. We're going to have hand painted, and we're going to have like the sort of replica of the actual Elvedon home where he lived, with the sort of the Taj kind of design in there, with the big bed and all sorts. So we're actually, I'm doing more and more stuff with people, and I'm doing more to get this walk with the from right here starts here, with the walk from Maharaja Dalip Singh, Prince Frederick, Princess Sophia. You know, we're having all that and walking down towards the statue down the road there. So there's going to be a whole huge presence of the Sikh society here, which is, you know, enormous for this small little market town. And because of that, we get film productions here who come and film in here, you know, and it's brought a whole sort of different era to the place, but on the positive. As I said, we always speak on the positive.
Very nice. Thank you.
That's amazing. Can I just ask a little bit about the Small Media Enterprise Awards that you're doing as well, and what that means?
So I started an awards here in Thetford. I went to the local council and I said, you know, we have national awards, we have the business, we have different paper awards. Nobody does any awards for SMEs. And they really looked at me and said, well, I said, you're doing awards, but you recognize Tesco's, you recognize BP Oil, and, you know, what about all these small little places down here? You know, the little Indian restaurant down there, the lady who does nails, you know, they don't get any recognition whatsoever, you know, and I'm very much that they need to get recognition. They said, you know, well, what's it got to do with you? And I said, because the thing is, I had people help me. Without people's help, sometimes people can't get further. And sometimes when you get help, it gives you the confidence in life I got to get further. So anyway, nobody helped us, and I decided I was going to do it anyway. We are now in our 8th year. We've got 100 SMEs involved locally. We've had local MPs who come, and we have a sit-down awards dinner of 300 every year, all black tie. And some of these people have never been to a black tie function in their lives. So for them to be able to get their dress on and the dinner jacket and a bow tie to actually go somewhere where it's affordable. And the reason why it's affordable, because I do it non-profit. There's no profit involved. People say, well, why do you do that non-profit? Because I've got all these people, I've got all these well-wishers behind me saying, thank you, Jez. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have come to all this. And it's a great party, and I am a party animal, and I'm in hospitality, so we have great entertainment. I have lots of people who support me on it, and it was that big that somebody asked me to do it where I live, and I live in Peterborough. So I started the community awards in Peterborough, but had an emphasis on people who can't get into work, so lots of the ones who have won awards are people who have been in trouble. They've actually come out and won an award. Some guys just got £20,000 on the back of one of our awards for a grant. And he'd got in so much trouble, but he just needed that help. And it goes back to Prism Start, where you support people. So in Peterborough, I've got all the authorities who support us with it, and the community awards now has gone from Thetford to 100 businesses over to Peterborough now, where we have another 80 odd business. So 180 businesses involved, which I managed to do as a non-profit organization. It is hard work. I can't say it's not, because to organize any event, it's not easy, but I do it because, you know what? Indirectly, people do come and see me in my hotels. Indirectly, people do come and want to know the story here or what I did. And, how my wife came from New Delhi, didn't have a clue what to do here. She was a graphic designer after COVID. What do? Can't find any people. She's now the head chef here, and she does all the desi stuff. 3 dishes, that's all we do, because it's local. I buy the goat meat from the goat farm up the road here, and we do that. So she became the head chef, and now she also does masterclasses in prisons for goat curry, which comes from the Delhi recipe.
I heard about that.
Delhi recipe. So there's a thing called the Right Course, which is supported by Fred Syriacs. And Fred Syriacs is one of the chefs, Gino, Fred, and Gordon Ramsay. So he supports that. So Rosie now goes to a couple of the different prisons on the course that he does, doing her masterclasses for goat curry. So it's just led into all sorts of things. But the biggest thing here is that I couldn't do anything without my family. My daughter now is involved. So she's at uni, but at the weekend she comes and works with us as well. So as a family, we've managed to support ourselves, but we've also supported lots of the different community, and it's great fun. Everyone likes to get their saris and black tie on and everything for all our functions. So every summer is really, really good. We have the Dole playing outside. We have the Anglia TV turn up, because they're really, really interested in what we do. But the awards is another thing that just highlights the people that in our society that need help, especially businesses. The big businesses all get looked after by HSBC Bank, but the little businesses don't even get recognized. Well, hopefully I'll change that somehow.
Well done.
That's so inspiring.
Very nice.
Thank you.
It's so inspiring. Yeah. History is so. ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਅਮਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੀ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੀ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ, ਤੇ ਵੈਸੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੰਗ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਵੀ, ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਰਾ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ 'ਚ, ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਆ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੁਣ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ, ਤੇ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। ਯੰਗ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਹਾਰਡ ਟਾਈਮ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਕਾਫੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਵੀ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਲਈ। ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਰਗੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਦੀਆਂ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ, ਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੰਦਾ ਰੱਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਟ੍ਰਿਪ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਈਏ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੀ ਉਸ ਰਿਚ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜੇ ਦੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਖੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੁਣਨ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ?
ਮੈਂ ਬਸ ਆ ਕਹੂੰਗਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ support each other. Without each other we are nothing. And sharing is caring. Don't ever forget that. Don't be selfish to anybody. But, if somebody hasn't got something, give them something. Give them your connections. Don't keep it all to yourself, because you're not going to take it with you. So the more support and the more everything you can give to your older generation, your mid-generation, and your younger generation, because the younger generation is our next generation. So give them everything you've got, and at the end of the day, if you do the way I do it, I enjoy it. I love what I do, and I love people saying that you helped us, Jez. You helped my son. We've got all the articles in the paper, and it's changed my son's life. It's unbelievable that. And this one guy, all he did was come and put our windows through here. But I chased him up the road, caught him. He started crying. He was 15, and I gave him work experience. I didn't prosecute him. That guy now works for me. So, and his well wishers are all my well wishers. So, I don't have to look over my shoulder because I know everyone behind me is supporting me. So, all please stay together and support each other.
Thank you so much, Jez. Oh, मैं स्टैचू अमर ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜੈਜ਼ ਦਾ ਸਟੈਚੂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਦਿਖਾਓਗੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਦਲੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਦਾ
show us your paintings, please.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗ ਦਿਖਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
So that's ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਦਲੀਪ
ਹਾਂਜੀ straight ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੋਟਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੈ ਜੀ
ਥੋੜੀ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਲੰਦੋ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
Do you want to just tell us a little bit about the pictures?
So this is Maharaja Dalip Singh that we had hand painted. It's actually got the initials at the bottom of the Maharaja, not the Maharaja. Sorry, I wish I had, but I do have letters which have been given from Euston up the road. So if anyone wanted to come and see all this, they can see all this, and we can show them the museum. The museum actually has been done for Thomas Paine. But we've included Maharaja Dalip Singh. So we've actually made it a shrine for two guys, not just the one. So you get double bubble when you come here kind of thing. So over here, there's Thomas Paine there. And that was painted as well by the same local artist that we have here. And then if I take you through here, so this is our function room. We're just getting ready for a function here tonight.
Okay.
Here, and we have Thomas Paine again. Can you see that? It's a bit dark. Can you see that?
Yes.
One?
Yes.
So that's painted as well. Then we go over to here, and I'll show you some of the awards that we've won at the hotel. You can see some of those.
Very nice. Anji.
We've won Boutique Hotel of the Year awards 3 times in a row. And plus Prism Start is up there as well. I don't know if you can see that. But then you come into here, which is our museum. And there's all the furniture that we laid out as it was many years ago. And everything revolves on our screen here. Just turn some lights on. Here, look. So all our furniture was put in here as it was where the Maharaja lived. And then we have here, which we bought and from Elvedon. So Elvedon is where he lived. There.
Yes.
And then you go through here, and that's all our museum as you walk through. About everything. So everything you can see, even these here, these have all this has been hand painted. About the journey of Thomas Paine when he came over here. And then you come back into it. So this used to go as far as this post. This here used to be our patio area. And then we built this here. And then upstairs is where we're doing the new Maharaja rooms. And hopefully by next summer, they'll be ready.
So, ਜੈਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਫਰਨੀਚਰ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਐਲਬਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੇਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਫਰਨੀਚਰ ਕਾਫੀ ਚਿਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਮਾਨ ਮਹਾਰਾਜੇ ਦਾ ਸੇਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਇਹ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਵੈਸੇ
ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ 1-2 ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਲਈਆਂ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਫਰਨੀਚਰ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸੋਫਾ ਇਹ ਮੈਂ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਸੈਪਰੇਟਲੀ ਲਿਆ ਸੀ ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਟੇਬਲ ਪਿਆ 1-2 ਹੋਰ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਪਈਆਂ ਉਹ ਗਿਨੇਸ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਘਰ ਚੋਂ ਆਈਆਂ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਘਰ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਆਈ ਬੋਟ them in the auction
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਆਕਸ਼ਨ ਲਾਈ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਮਾਨ
Thank you so much. It's really inspirational.
ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਸੀਗਾ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਨਵੀਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਦ ਇਹ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਨਕਰੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਤੇ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ। ਅਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ।
Definitely. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me on, and I hope your channel goes to the top, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Sat Sri Akal.
Okay.